Hello, everyone. Charles Coleman here, presenting to you, well, first, my shameless self promotion of an art form in which I like to wear this shirt any chance I get in public. But also, I'd like to present to you one of the greatest recordings ever, my rendition. And this time I've chosen Bryn Terfel and his album The Vagabond on Deutsche Grammophon, along with pianist Malcolm Martineau, for whom he has worked with multiple times on other wonderful albums like songs of Schubert and other British leader. But this is my favorite. This album, The Vagabond, is my favorite because it encompasses not only one composer. There have been wonderful recordings by Benjamin Luxon, who I talked about before, who sadly left us, Roderick Williams, John Shirley Quirk, and a whole host of other great baritones that have promoted some of the British leader, but they're usually one composer like Vaughan Williams or George Butterworth and whatnot. But with this album, you get a bunch of composers, four, I think it's four. Vaughan Williams, George Butterworth, Gerald Finzi, and John Ireland. I mean, four great British composers who wrote wonderful songs, all encompassed in this album. There have been many great versions of all of these songs by the various other singers that I mentioned, but this is all encompassed on one album and is really worth hearing. The performances are great. Of course, it's well sonically recorded. I forgot what hall they were in, but the way it's usually a little tricky to record for just piano and voice in terms of whether it should be more enclosed or more spread out. This one is more spread out, and it's spread out very well, even though it's just two performers as opposed to a full orchestra. And it's just a wonderful album. Definitely one of the best versions of the Songs of Travel, along with, and the Gerald Finzi songs are based on Shakespeare. Very charming, lovely songs by John Ireland, and of course, the Butterworth songs, which frankly makes it even more tragic thinking about the fact that he died in his middle 30s after being shot by a sniper at Somme during World War One. It's just really haunting to think about what he could have accomplished if he lived much longer than he did. And especially Is My Team Plowing, the last of the Shropshire songs. And the way that last song is done, it's basically a dead man talking from where he is to his friend on earth. He's talking in this weak and utterly heartbreaking, touching sound for which his friend from below, with gusto but with sympathy, answers the questions of his friend. This is a wonderful album, really worth hearing. There are many great albums of all these songs, but this is one where they're all encompassed together in one album. Really worth hearing. The Vagabond by Bryn Terfel, along with his pianistic great partner Malcolm Martineau. You gotta hear this one.